Hey guys, welcome back to Keeping Up with Chyna. My name is Chyna. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for coming back, watching my video. I'm so sorry guys. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about interlocking. Today's video is specifically about the pros and cons of interlocking. So if you guys don't know, I'll insert a picture or like a quick little snip. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna try to explain what interlocking is. Basically, interlocking is it's kind of hard to explain without showing you. It's basically your let me see if I can just show you guys right here. So interlocking, basically you put the hair in between and you basically tying up and instant lock the hair, instead of when you do a retwist, it kind of takes a few weeks, sometimes a few months for the hair to actually lock. When you do interlocking, the hair basically locks in place, so I'm gonna just talk about the differences, the pros and the cons of interlocking. I do have my paper here because y'all know me, I can't memorize nothing to save my life. But anyways, so the first pro, so I'm gonna do the pros first and then I'll go over the cons, okay? Or should I do the cons first? I'm gonna do the cons first and then do the pros. Okay, so the first con that I have is that it takes a long time. Well, of course it depends on how much hair, how much locks you have, but it does take longer to interlock than if you're doing like a palm roll retwist. Okay, so interlocking, sometimes it can take like 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours, depending on how much locks you have. So it is a pretty time consuming. Okay, so that's a con. When I interlock my hair, it usually takes about like 3 or 4 hours, y'all. Like sometimes I stop and and come back, because your hand, it's a challenge. It's not a challenge, but like it takes a long time, so you have to be patient. You have to be entertained. Like I be having like my shows and stuff in front of me so that it can make the process easier. Number 2 is potential damages to your locks. Like for example, if you're doing it too tight, or if you're not doing the interlocking process the right way, like you're not doing the, like for example, there's the 2, 3 and 4 point rotation. If you're doing the same loop, like the same rotation twice, that can cause like holes in your locks, and over time that can cause to brittle, thinning of your locks, and eventually breakage of your locks, and you don't want that. So that's why if you're doing interlocking, it's very important that you really pay attention to how you're doing it, and so that it in the long term it doesn't cause damage to your locks. Okay, that's very, very important. Number 3, I don't know how I'm gonna word this, but like if you have like okay, basically your hair is not as full as if you've had like a palm retwist. Like you don't really get the volume and stuff like that. You can, if you have like very thick hair, then your hair could still appear fuller, but for the most part your hair is not really super thick. Like when you do the, like especially if you start off with interlocking and maintenance, with interlocking, you guys, you will see that your hair is a little bit more compact. It's not as thick and full like if you had like palm roll and stuff like that. So that's another thing to consider if you are trying to do interlocking. Number 4 is that when you do interlocking, you might not see, I mean, that's mainly for like if you're just starting off. Like if you're like in the starter stages of your locks, you might not see the growth as quickly as you would if you started off with palm rolling, because, or comb coils or whatever, because when you interlock, you're basically creating like this pattern in your hair, like this, like I don't really know how to explain it. You basically like compacting and intertwining the locks, you know. So like you will see a lot of shrinkage when you do you know, do interlocking, especially if you're in your starter stage of your locks, because you know, in the starter stage your hair is going through so much that, you know, it will shrink because it has to mash up and stuff like that. It will shrink before you can actually start seeing length and all that stuff, you know. So that's another thing. And my last con is that your locks with interlocking, your locks don't have that nice uniform look, you know. You know how like most locks, like for example, you guys, I messed up on this one, but you see how like most of my locks, not all of them, but like this one have a little bump here, which is fine, but for the most part it's very nice and smooth and uniform. Like all of them look pretty, you know, uniform. But with interlocking, like you would see like where, like you would see like different patterns, like the strand wouldn't be as straight and nice and neat. You would see like, you know, bumps here and there, and you know, it's not as straight and uniform looking if you have if you do interlock, okay, which is not a problem, because some people like that look, some people don't have a problem with that. So if you don't really care of how your hair is looking and stuff like that, then that might be a good fit for you. Okay, so now that we did the cons, we're gonna go to the pros. So number one for the pros, you can wet your hair, or like if you're like, especially like if you go to the gym a lot and you sweat a lot, you know, you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, my comb coil, my palm roll retwist is gonna come out, or you know, it's gonna like unravel and stuff, because once you do the interlocking, it actually stays, and like it actually stays. Like you don't have to worry about it unraveling. It's gonna stay until your next time to get it retightened, you know. So that's another thing. Like you can actually wet, like, you know, go swimming if you love the water. Like if you like swimming a lot, you can go swimming. If you like love going to the gym a lot, you can do that with no worries that your hair, your locks will get unraveled. Number two is that you can wash your hair often. Okay, that's another thing too. I actually used to wash my hair like once a month, but now I'm trying to do it like twice a month, because I feel like, why not, you know, like let me try to see if I can wash my hair more often, to see if my hair likes it, because I feel like going like a month, sometimes 6 weeks without washing my hair, my hair gets very itchy, and I get like dandruffs and stuff like that, and you know, and it gets itchy, you know, so I don't like that. So I'm like, maybe if I wash it at least like twice a month, maybe, you know, I won't have that much, you know, itchiness and all that stuff. And you guys, it's been like 4 weeks now, I believe, since I did interlocking. And as you guys can see, like, you know, I don't have that much, I don't have that much new growth, you guys. So so yeah, like, so you can wash your hair without worrying that, you know, your hair is gonna, you know, unravel. Okay, that's another great things when it comes to you know, doing the interlocking process, well, method. Number three is that, you know, you don't have to put so much products in your, you know, in your hair. Okay, that is another good thing. Like you don't have to put product. Like honestly, when you're doing interlocking, all you need is some oil, water, or if you use like the rose water, you can use that. Yeah, like you really don't need much. The only product that you can use is just edge control, like if you want to do your edges and stuff like that. But honestly, you don't need no pomade, you don't need no locking gel, you don't need any of that if you're doing interlocking. Which brings me into my next pro, which is that you are less likely to get buildup if you do interlocking. Why? It's because when most people, when they retwist, they do use products, they do use like a locking gel or like a pomade or something with their so it can like hold and stuff like that. So which in the long run you might be more prone to build up, as if if you just did interlocking, where you don't really use product. The only time you use like products is when you do your edges, or if you do like deep conditioning and stuff like that, then but honestly, you're less likely to get buildup if you do interlocking, because you're not putting as much products in your hair and it's not getting trapped in your locks. So the last one is you can have more time in between retwist, not retwist, maintenance. So basically with interlocking, you don't have to do it every month. If you really want to, you can, but it's like you won't have enough new growth. You should at least wait at least until you have like ½ an inch or 1 inch of new growth for you to interlock. But yeah, so it's like you have a longer time for you to go by without having a maintenance. So sometimes like 2 months, like 2 to 11 months, I would say. Well, 2 to 10 months, I would say. 2 months, 2 to 11. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm at 8 to 11 weeks, sorry you guys, okay? Or 8 to 10 weeks, okay? So it's just like 2 months or 2.5 months. You can go without retighten. It's all up to you, but I would say at least wait until you have like ½ an inch or something, or 1 inch, or whenever you really feel like it's necessary for you to have your locks retighten. Just make sure you're not doing it too much and stuff like that. I think that's about it. But yeah, you guys, I really do love both. Like, I feel very conflicted with interlocking and palm rolling, because they both have their own benefits, and I'm very torn. I'll probably do another video on the differences between interlocking versus palm rolling, just so you guys can know and see which one is better for your hair. Hopefully the next time I do a video, or I retwist or retie my hair, that I've kind of figured out what I want to do and actually stick to it, because I like both of them for different reasons. So it's really hard for me to pick which one I want to stick with, you guys. But I don't know yet. I'm really not sure yet. I'm gonna just think about it and then see what. I'll probably do another interlocking again, to just see another interlocking to see if I really want it. I don't know, y'all. But anyways, yeah, so this is the end of this video. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, just leave it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. If you guys have any comments or like any ideas of future videos, leave it down below, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.